And he causeth all to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark. Quiet dread, a family gathered around the bread. The youngest asked if God was dead, or looking on, the father held the coin and stared, and wondered what his soul could bear.
The merchant at the city gate had posted up a new mandate: no purchase without proof of faith in what they carved. The market hummed with empty sound as conscience fell and hit the ground.
The hand that reaches out to feed the ones it loves must choose between the doubt and what the mark behooves. They stand before the line, the choice is set in stone. They stand before the line, each soul must stand alone. To wear the brand or watch your children starve, the world reduced to what the beast will carve. But in the wilderness a different bread was found, a God who fed his own on holy ground. They stand before the line, the choice is set in stone.
The neighbor came with urgent word, the deadline and the threat he'd heard. The census of the soul conferred by dragon's law. Tomorrow every hand must show the mark, or let your commerce go.
The wife looked at her husband's face and saw the terror in its place. The calculations of disgrace had worn him thin. She touched his hand and shook her head. We will not eat the dragon's bread.
The hand that reaches out to feed the ones it loves,
choose between the doubt and what the mark behooves. They stand before the line, the choice is set in stone. They stand before the line, each soul must stand alone. To wear the brand or watch your children starve, the world reduced to what the beast will carve. But in the wilderness a different bread was found, a God who fed his own on holy ground. They stand before the line, the choice is set in stone.
the ravens fed Elijah's need, by sharers broke a holy creed. The widow's oil and flour freed her from the grave. Before the mark there was a way that heaven fed the ones who pray.
The children asked what they would eat. The father laid aside defeat and spoke of manna in the heat of Sinai's sand. The bread that fell before the brand was proof that God still held their hand.
The coin falls on the floor, the hand withdraws unbranded. The family locks the door and waits for what is handed from heaven's open store, where bread is never stranded.
The hand that reaches out to feed the ones it loves must choose between the doubt and what the mark behooves.
The census counts the branded and the sealed. The ones who starve in flesh are fully healed. The beast may keep his markets and his grain. The saints will wait for manna and the rain.
They stand before the line, the choice is set in stone. They stand before the line, each soul must stand alone. To wear the brand or watch your children starve, the world reduced to what the beast will carve. But in the wilderness a different bread was found, a God who fed his own on holy ground. They stand before the line, the choice is set in stone. The faithful faced the gate and could not pass, but heaven's bread was falling on the grass. The mark was offered, the seal was kept. The children watching while they slept.
The manna came.
He fed them in the wilderness with bread they did not know, that he might make them know man shall not live by bread alone. From heaven, soft and real. The desert floor became the seal of God's supply. No coin was needed, no exchange. Just trust that morning would arrange. The flakes descended with the dew, enough for all the old and new. No one could hoard what daily grew upon the ground. The economy of open hands was built before the beast demands. The bread that heaven sends asks nothing but the trust that what the Father lends is gathered from the dust. Manna in the wilderness, the bread of holy trust. Manna in the wilderness, collected from the dust. The beast economy is built on fear and lack, but heaven's bread asks nothing back. No mark, no brand, no census of the soul. Just gather what the morning makes you whole. Manna in the wilderness, the bread of holy trust. They gathered what the day required. The greedy gathered and acquired, but what they hoarded had expired by morning's light. The worm had eaten through their store and taught them there was always more. The Sabbath day required no toil. They gathered double from the soil. The day before the holy oil of rest and trust. The beast demands the endless grind. The Sabbath is for the divine mind. The bread that heaven sends asks nothing but the trust that what the Father lends is gathered from the dust. Manna in the wilderness, the bread of holy trust. Manna in the wilderness, collected from the dust. The beast economy is built on fear and lack, but heaven's bread asks nothing back. No mark, no brand, no census of the soul. Just gather what the morning makes you whole. Manna in the wilderness, the bread of holy trust. The saints recall the ancient food and know the beast's demand is crude. The mark is proof the multitude forgot the dew. Their fathers ate what heaven sent and never bowed to any tent. The jar of manna kept inside the ark, the holy testified that God provides before the pride of any beast. The saints who starve beneath the ban are eating from a different land. The wilderness is wide, the bread is wide and small. The beast cannot provide what falls beyond his wall. The saints collect the dew and know the promise true. The bread that heaven sends asks nothing but the trust that what the Father lends is gathered from the dust. The mark demands the hand, the manna asks the heart. One is the beast's design, the other heaven's art. The saints who will not wear the brand are fed by what descends upon the wilderness bed. Manna in the wilderness, the bread of holy trust. Manna in the wilderness, collected from the dust. The beast economy is built on fear and lack, but heaven's bread asks nothing back. No mark, no brand, no census of the soul. Just gather what the morning makes you whole. Manna in the wilderness, the bread of holy trust. And Jesus in the desert fasted long, refused the bread that would have done him wrong. Men shall not live by bread alone, he said, but by the word that falls from heaven's stead.
And I saw an angel ascending from the east, having the seal. of the living God. And he cried with a loud voice,
receive the seal upon their brow, they grieve no more. The angels' cry will cleave the eastern sky. The servants of the living God are marked before the judgment rod.
The seal is not a brand of trade, it is the name the Lamb is made upon the forehead, not for trade but for the throne. The mark of beast and seal of God are written on a different side.
One mark demands the buy, one seal bestows the name, one leads the soul to die, one sets the heart aflame. The seal on the forehead, the name the Father writes, the mark on the hand, the number that ignites. Two signs upon the human frame appear, one born from love, the other born from fear. The beast engraves his digit in the skin, but God inscribes his name on those within. The seal on the forehead, the name the Father writes. The mark is one for all to see, a visible conformity, but the seal is a mystery of the inner man. The beast controls by outward sign, the Lamb secures by inward line.
The mark can buy and sell their worth, the sealed have treasures not of earth. The marked will perish in the death of the last day. The sealed will stand before the throne and hear their names pronounced as known.
One mark demands the buy, one seal bestows the name, one leads the soul to die, one sets the heart aflame. The seal on the forehead, the name the Father writes, the mark on the hand, the number that ignites. Two signs upon the human frame appear, one born from love, the other born from fear. The beast engraves his digit in the skin, but God inscribes his name on those within. The seal on the forehead, the name the Father writes.
The angel from the eastern light ascends before the endless night and seals the servants in the sight of heaven's host. Before the beast can mark the world, the seal of God has been unfurled.
Do not despair, the mark you see upon the hand of every knee. The seal is older, it is free, it was bestowed. Before the beast drew his first breath, the seal was given, conquering death.
The angel holds the sign, the living God's own ring. The seal will outlast time, the mark will die and sting. The forehead shows the truth of age or endless youth.
One mark demands the buy, one seal bestows the name, one leads the soul to die, one sets the heart aflame. The mark is temporary, scratch and skin, the seal is everlasting, carved within. The beast may count as numbered in the street, but heaven counts the sealed who will not cheat. The seal on the forehead, the name the Father writes, the mark on the hand, the number that ignites. Two signs upon the human frame appear, one born from love, the other born from fear.
The beast engraves his digit in the skin, but God inscribes his name on those within.
The seal on the forehead, the name the Father writes.
And the angel sealed the servants of our God before the mark could stain the sun. The seal of the living God remains, and not the beast's infernal chains. And all that dwell upon the earth whose names are not written in the book of life shall worship the beast and take his mark.
Was loud with marching feet. The neighbors gathered in the heat. The pressure of the multitude complete and crushing down. The family who would not conform became the target of the storm.
Their house surrounded by the crowd, the voices growing harsh and loud. Why will you not join the proud procession of the mart? The children hear the window shake and wonder what their lives will take. The mob demands the sign. The crowd will not relent. The pressure to align becomes the sacrament. They press against the door, the world demands the brand. They press against the door, the sea of human sand. The weight of every neighbor and of every friend insists the faithful break before the end. But those who stand unbranded in the crush are held by what the mob can never touch. They press against the door, the world demands the brand. The mother held the youngest close and whispered of the heavenly host who stood with them, the greater ghost of holy might. The crowd could break the wooden door, but could not breach the inner war.
A friend of 20 years appeared and begged them with a voice of tears to take the mark to calm the fears of those outside. The father looked at him and said, I love you, but I love more the dead. The mob demands the sign. The crowd will not relent. The pressure to align becomes a sacrament. They press against the door, the world demands the brand. They press against the door, the sea of human sand. The weight of every neighbor and of every friend insists the faithful break before the end. But those who stand unbranded in the crush are held by what the mob can never touch. They press against the door, the world demands the brand.
The rich man came with promises, the poor man came with threats and hisses. The whole spectrum of compromises knocked that night. The mark could be so small, so quick, just take the number and be sick.
The saints have learned to count the cost and count the world as something lost. The pressure is the devil's frost upon the soul, but frost will melt when morning breaks and every choice the saint remakes.
The door begins to splinter, the crowd prepares to feast. But heaven in the winter has not released the least of those who keep the seal, whose faith the mob can't steal. The mob can't steal the star, my contest.
The mob demands the sign. The crowd will not relent. The pressure to align becomes the sacrament. The door will hold, the mob will pass away. The faithful will endure another day. The beast may send his crowds to every home, but every home unbranded is a throw. They press against the door, the world demands the brand. They press against the door, the sea of human sand. The weight of every neighbor and of every friend insists the faithful break before the end. But those who stand unbranded in the crush are held by what the mob can never touch. They press against the door, the world demands the brand.
And when the crowd had spent its rage and gone, the family found the morning coming on. The door still stood, the seal was still unbroken. The manna fell, a word was softly spoken. Here is the of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus. And I heard a voice from heaven saying,
have learned to see inside the dark, the patience that the patriarchs knew in the night. They wait for what the eye can see and hold to what the soul must be.
The commandments of the living God are written when no beast can prod. The faith of Jesus in the side of human hearts is stronger than the marker's sword and deeper than the dragon's word.
The patience is the power, the faith is the defense.
In this unholy hour, the saints make recompense.
Here is the patience and the faith they keep. Here is the promise that the Lord will reap. The ones who die in Christ from now are blessed. They rest from labor, they have passed the test. Their works will follow where the Lamb has gone.
Their patience is the victory they've won. Here is the patience and the faith they keep.
From heaven speaks the word, the most consoling ever heard. Right, this the dead in Christ are blessed beyond the strife. They rest from all their labor now, and peace anoints their burning brow.
Their works still follow where they go. The seeds they planted still will grow. The beast thought he could stop the flow of holy blood, but every martyr's work proceeds and blooms into immortal deeds.
The patience is the power, the faith is the defense. In this unholy hour, the saints make recompense. Here is the patience and the faith they keep. Here is the promise that the Lord will reap. The ones who die in Christ from now are blessed. They rest from labor, they have passed the test. Their works will follow where the Lamb has gone.
Their patience is the victory they've won. Here is the patience and the faith they keep.
They did not take the sword in hand, they did not make a final stand. They simply would not wear the brand and let it be. The beast exhausted all his rage, and still they turned another page.
The patience of the saints is not a passive waiting to be caught. It is the active furnace hot with trust and deed. They keep the faith of Jesus Christ, and by that faith they are sufficed.
The voice from heaven writes the words that time will bear. The blessed dead in Christ are free from every care. Their works still walk the earth long after death's dark dearth. The patience is the power, the faith is the defense. In this unholy hour, the saints make recompense. They stand before the line, the choice was set in stone. Manna in the wilderness collected from the dust. The seal on the forehead, the name the Father writes. These three remain, the saints have overcome. Here is the patience and the faith they keep. Here is the promise that the Lord will reap. The ones who die in Christ from now are blessed. They rest from labor, they have passed the test. Their works will follow where the Lamb has gone. Their patience is the victory they've won. Here is the patience and the faith they keep. Blessed are the dead which die in the Lord. From henceforth they rest from their labors, and their works do follow them. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.